Good day to you friends. Hope you must be liking our all the videos. And now in this video we are beginning with a literary session. And the very first video in this literary session is Old English period. So friends, what is Old English period? Whenever you study the history of English literature, that the very first era that comes around you is Old English period. It is very important for the point of view of UGC led English literature because it is the very first era of literature and several times several questions are being asked from this particular era. So the major important thing about Old English period is its date, when it started. The era of English period, Old English period started in 5th century and it continued till 1150 AD. Some people believe that this Old English period ended after Norman conquest, but it is not like this. Two different type of literature that was written in this particular period was the prose and the poetry. The poetry that was written in this period, its period ended after Norman conquest, but the prose that was written in this period, its period ended after 1150 AD. So when we count this era, we start counting this era from 5th century, and so its final date that I am giving to you for this period is 5th century to 1150 AD. You have to keep this particular period in mind. So this is the first important thing that we have discussed about the Old English literature. Now, what is the next thing that we are going to talk about this particular period of literature? The next thing that we are going to talk about is historical background, how this period started. Actually, before the beginning of Old English period, Romans were ruling over Britain, and Romans left Britain in 410 AD, and after 410 AD, Britain was open inroads of the invaders from north, and many invaders started invading Britain. And the most important invaders that we have to know about is Anglo-Saxon invaders. These Anglo-Saxon tribes came from Germany, and these were not only one tribe, there was the combination of three different tribes, that is Angles, Saxons and Jutes. And now you must have understood that this period continued from 5th century to 1150 AD. And what was the date of Norman conquest? You have to keep this date also in mind, it is very important. Norman conquest took place in 1060 AD, and this period is 5th century to 1150 AD. Now I told you that the Romans were ruling here. Now what happened? Anglo-Saxons came here in 450 AD, and I told you already that it was the combination of three different tribes, Jutes, Angles and Saxons, and they were Germanic tribes. When they came here, they started mixing up with the local people of Britain. Okay. And what was the religion of these Anglo-Saxon tribes plus the local Britons? They were not the Christians at that time. Basically, they were the pagans. And what is the pagan? Pagan means they did not have any faith in God, but maybe they may be believing in the nature. So they were pagans, not the Christians. So now the question that must be coming into your mind is that then how Christianity started in Britain? That only I am going to discuss now. Now what happened? When the Romans left here, Anglo-Saxons came here, they mixed up with the local people, and after that major conversion from paganism to Christianity started with the efforts of Irish missionaries in the Northumbria. It was the area is Northumbria, but the major conversion started with the efforts of Roman Catholic Church in the year 597. and the major figure behind the conversion was Saint Augustine. So now you must have understood that what is the historical background of these Anglo-Saxons. Okay, they were from Germany. They came to England in 450 AD. They get mixed up with the local people. They were pagans. Then slowly, with the passage of time and with the efforts of Roman Catholics, Saint Augustine, who is the major figure in conversion in Britain, that due to his efforts, the Anglo-Saxons started converting into Christianity. Okay, that certainly had influence on the literature of this period. Now, by now, we have discussed what is the time. The time period is 5th century to 1150 AD. Okay. And we have studied the historical background also. First Romans, then Anglo-Saxons, then they were pagans, they turned into Christianity. Okay, you must be able to understand the historical background. Now we are coming to discuss about what were the features, because we are mainly concerned with the literature. Why I told you the historical background? Because without knowing the historical background, you cannot understand the nature of the literature. So, what is the major thing that you need to know before we finally come to the literary features of the works of this period? The first important thing that you need to know is that when the literature of this period began, then at that time the literature was not in written form. The written form of English literature started in 733 AD, again an important date, 733 AD. The written form started. But you must be thinking that what was the form before it? It was the oral form. And the people who were conveying this particular literary works among the people was scopes. Scope, S-C-O-P-E. This was a designation for the poets. What the poets were doing? They were moving through the streets and singing the poems and the other literary works of the literature through oral form. Okay, and they were very respectable figure in the society because they were responsible for holding up the cultural and social values of the society. So Scope was a very important figure that you must know. Okay, so Old English period was the literary work was conveyed through scopes. Now, the thing you need to know, which is very important, is which language this literature was written. This language was written in Old English. Now, what is this Old English? This Old English is certainly not the English that we use today. This English is far different than today's modern English. The origin of today's modern English is East Midland English, and the father of this particular language is Chaucer, but that we study in the further period of literature. By now we are focusing only on the Old English. So this Old English is the combination of the language of the Germanic tribes, means Anglo-Saxon tribes, and the language of the local people of Britain. So with the combination of these two languages, the Old English form appeared. So in that particular language only, the works of this period was written. Now you came to know about the two important things about the literary works of this period. One is that it was written in Old English. Second, initially it was in oral form, conveyed through scopes, who were the poets, and then conveyed through poets, and then it started appearing in the written form only after 733 AD. And it started appearing in the written form only after the conversion of the Germanic tribes to the Christianity, and the prose form of literature appeared after that. Before that it was poetry mainly. Okay, now we have come to know about the language of the literature of this period. We have also discussed that which form this literature was written. Now we will be discussing that what type of literature was written in this period. So only one type of literature was written in this particular period, and that type was the literature of this period was based on the history of Greek heroes. Greek historical events was the major topic of the poetry of this period. Okay, and now you have come to know everything about the historical background and how this old English period came into existence. Now finally we are coming on the literary features of this age, which is the major topic of concern of this video. Okay, so first important literary feature in this era of literature was caesura. C-A-E-S-U-R-A. This is caesura. So now what is caesura? Caesura is that when there is a break in the middle of any poetic line, then it is caesura. Okay, and I will give you one example also. This caesura, like sing a song of sixpence, sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye. Now you must be thinking, where is the break? Break is here. After pence, there is a break in the line, and this is caesura. This is very popularly used feature of the poetry in this era. Second important feature of this literature is alliterative words. So what is alliteration? Alliteration is basically the repetition of consonant or the vowel sound. Okay, and the repetition of consonant sound is referred as consonants, and the repetition of vowel sound is referred as assonance. I repeat, vowel sound repetition assonance, consonant sound repetition consonants. And now I will give you the example of alliterative words. That is, Lisa loved to look at Lisa. If you read this line, I will read this line once again. Lisa loved to look at Lisa. So the L word is repeated again and again. And what is L? L is a consonant. It is repeated. So this is alliterative words. So two important features: caesura, break in the middle of the line. Second is alliterative words was used in this period. And the third important feature of this period is use of caning. K-E-N-N-I-N-G. Use of caning. Now what is caning? Caning means use of compound words. So what are the compound words? I am giving example. If instead of saying spectacles, if we say four eyes, then it is the example of the compound words. Okay. So these type of particular compound words were used in this era of the literature. So first is caesura was used, second is alliterative words, third is compound words of the literature. Compound words were used in the literature. Fourth thing is abstract ideas were used. You must be thinking, what are the abstract ideas? Abstract, you must have heard about the abstract noun. What is abstract noun according to you? Abstract noun is a type of noun in which there are things which have no physical existence. Okay, like if we talk in terms of if we talk in terms of bravery, and then if we say the word honesty, if we say the word love, then there is no physical existence. Okay, then it is abstract idea. So abstract ideas were used, and abstract ideas were used in the majorly in the prose also. Okay. Now another important feature of the literature of this era was use of stresses. Four stresses were used in this alliterative words. Okay. And another important thing about this alliterative words I would like to tell you is that the alliteration was used in combination with the stress. When we use, and wherever there is stress in any line, there is alliteration. I will quote one very important example from the poem Beowulf. Beowulf is the best example of alliterative words of Old English period. This is very important work about which we will be discussing in our next video, in which I will be telling you about the important literary works of this period. In that I will be discussing about the Beowulf. I will tell you the story of this particular poem. This is very long epic poem, and its protagonist was Beowulf. Okay, so it was written in 1000 AD. Obviously, it was the period of Old English literature. Now, I will tell you what type of essential verse was used in this particular poem, Beowulf. I will quote one line from this poem. There, look here. It is, famed was the Beowulf. Famed was the Beowulf. Far flew the boast of him. So far flew is use of the consonant. Stress is here and the alliteration is there because repetition of FF. So it is essential verbs. Okay. So now in this video I have covered the historical background of literature of Old English period and along with the features, all the important features of the literary works of this period. And in the next video I already told you that I'll be discussing the major works of Old English period. Okay, hope friends you must have liked this video. If you like this video, then hit the like button please, and don't forget to subscribe our channel. And once again I would like to say thanks to you for watching my video.